Business owners consistently ask me, how do I get my team members to care as much as I do about my business? And a lot of times they are frustrated with their team members. They feel like they can't hire any great people. They feel like they can't find people who really do put the attention and the love and the care into their business the way that they do. And I have two responses for that. First, you're never going to find people to care as much about your business as you do. It's an unrealistic expectation. There's nobody else out there who cares more. It would be like saying to somebody, I want my children's teacher to care as much about my child as I do. As a parent, you are never going to find somebody who cares as much or more about your kid than you do. That's just ridiculous. In the similar fashion, there's nobody who's going to care about your business as much or more than you do. However, you can still find great people who do care about your business. You just can't compare them to how much you care about your business. But there are people out there who will come into your business, who will come alongside you, who want to help, who can solve problems and help you grow and scale. So I like to call this the employee engagement cycle. It is quite literally a cycle that goes like this. There's the first step, there's the second step, and there's the third step. The first step is the alignment step. They are aligning with you to start. What does alignment mean? Alignment is everything that happens during the interview process and everything that happens all the way up to the 90-day mark. So we're gonna say interview through 90 days. In this alignment phase, you have their onboarding. You have how you explain your mission statement, your vision, how you clearly set them up for success in their role and get the proper training to them. You get them integrated with your team and your culture. Everything in that first 90 days is you aligning them to your business. Now, the second phase is the development phase. This is 90 days plus. Now, I oftentimes refer to this development phase as purgatory. And this is where most business owners go wrong. This little plus button right here, oh, let's highlight this. Oh yeah, this little plus. You might have people who have sat on your payroll making the same amount of money in the exact same position for years and years and years. And then you wonder, why don't my people care about the business like I do? Why don't they fight for my business? And why don't they show up and are excited? It's because they're stuck in this development purgatory. They aligned with your business, they got excited, you onboarded them, and then they just sat in the exact same position, in the exact same role forever without any clear picture of what phase 3 is, which is transition. So I have a question for you. What does transition actually look like in your environment? Let's think about Joey. We're gonna name this person Joey. Joey starts with you. Joey is pumped. Look at this little, I don't know why Joey has such a big forehead, but he does. Joey's pumped because he's heard about your interview process. He experienced the interview process. He's like, man, this was awesome. These people sound great. Then he went through 90 days. He understood your mission statement, your vision statement, your core values. He got up to speed on what he's supposed to do each and every day. He loved joining the team. And then he popped from this alignment phase where Joey's all excited to now he's in development. And he's been in development. And he's been in development. And he's been in development. And he has no idea what he needs to do in order to make more money or to go to the next role in the organization, which ideally is also him making more money. That's this transition. He's trying to figure out, what does it mean for me to transition? So if Joey is a marketing manager, the question you should be asking yourself is Joey clear on what he specifically needs to do to become a senior marketing manager? Joey goes from marketing, oh boy, we're gonna get crazy with this thing, marketing manager to senior, let's abbreviate this so I don't have to do that again, manager, we won't abbreviate that. Right, he needs to know what that's going to take. That right there, this little piece here would be this transition up here. The crazy thing is most of the time, this transition conversation, this thing right here, should actually be happening while they are aligning with you, and then absolutely should be happening while you're expecting them to develop themselves. Because if you're not talking about what transition looks like, what the next step in their career looks like, what being a senior marketing manager looks like, when they first join you, why are they going to put everything they've got into developing with you in their 45th day, well, 450th day of employment, or their second year of employment? They're only going to put their all into developing themselves if they understand transition, which is why you have to be talking about the opportunities for them to grow in alignment. So think about all of your people problems right now. I know you have people in your organization: Joey, Sally, Susie, Baron, insert their name. I'm going to call mine Karen. You have Karen in your environment. Karen is disengaged. Karen doesn't do more than what is asked of her. Karen stresses you out constantly because she's negative, and you don't want to fire her because she knows where all the bodies are buried, but you want to engage her. Ask yourself this question: does Karen know what her next position is inside your organization? Does she have full clarity on her next position? Second question: does she know what the gaps are between where she's at right now and what it would take for her to get to that next position, aka this marketing manager to the senior marketing manager role? Now, just like a little bit of a nuance to this, one thing that I'd like to add: there's a marketing manager, that's the current role. Then there's a senior marketing manager, that's the second role. Man, somehow I lost my little pen here. Well, we're just gonna start writing it in black. Oh, maybe not. Oh, I found it, just kidding. I told you guys this is the first time, so we're gonna get better at this. Really, the way to capture someone's attention, someone's mind share, increase motivation and inspiration with them, is to paint a picture of how they could change their life. So what if, in the very early stages of somebody aligning with you, you had a roadmap that was already created that looked like this? That says director. I know it doesn't actually say director, but that's what it's supposed to say. So Karen starts with you as a marketing manager, and her next role is senior marketing manager. There's very specific things that she should have to do in between marketing manager to senior marketing manager to earn additional compensation. There's very specific things. Maybe she needs to take a course on how to build a funnel. Maybe she needs to better understand SEO. Maybe she's responsible for social media in your organization and the accounts haven't grown, so she needs to hit that target. There's specific things, right? That's gonna get her attention to move from alignment and her really developing herself to be able to see this next phase of transition. But what really is going to keep Karen excited about the opportunity to work inside your business is what is the life-changing play? How could Karen go from being a marketing manager to a vice president in your organization? How could he or she go from making $60,000 a year with you to $160,000 a year, or $260,000 a year, or $360,000 a year? How are you painting that picture of development? Because I think what we forget as business owners sometimes is the only reason we develop ourselves, the only reason you're watching this YouTube video right now, is because you believe that if you develop yourself correctly, if you do this, you are going to transition into a wealthier business owner, a more successful business owner, which at that point you would then have to realign with the next opportunity or the next level that you're at in your career. Then you'd go back into, so you go from alignment, then you'd go back into development, and then you would be transitioning into this next role, this next function, at which point you would go through alignment and then development and transition. This thing just never stops, it just continues. I can see this so many times throughout my career where I moved from a manager to a senior manager to a director to a vice president to a president. But even now, as a president and co-founder of Cardone Ventures, there's levels and there's things that I'm accomplishing. But as soon as I figure out what that is, I align with what the target is, I work like crazy to develop the skill sets that are required to get there, and then I transition into this new function. I transition into this new responsibility. I move from having 40 team members reporting to me to having 200 team members with multiple entities under those organizations, to then launching a private equity group. Like, as I as I start to handle these things and develop myself, I transition and I become this new person that then realigns. We forget that the thing that we're doing needs to be baked into what our team members are expecting to have happen in their career and what would get them excited, because no one is going to work their ass off for you just to make the same amount of pay, to do the exact same job year after year. Neither would you. You're only doing this because you think that the time that you're spending right now is actually going to get you a return. So the ideal scene is that you paint this picture of a marketing manager to a senior marketing manager, to a director, to a senior director, to a vice president, so people can see what opportunity looks like, and that it's not just about one step forward, it's about you in your business creating the opportunity for them to change the entire trajectory of their career to the extent that they're actually willing to develop themselves to do these things that aren't easy things to do, right? Learning how to build a funnel, learning what's happening on TikTok or YouTube, what are they called? Shorts, Reels, whatever they're called, Shorts, Instagram Reels, getting like your feet wet and getting familiar and becoming great at those things. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. It's not easy. Somebody has to really develop the skill set. But once they do, and you're like, check, you did that, you were awesome. Check, you did that, you were awesome. Check, you did that, you were awesome. Check, you did that. Now you're a senior marketing manager. Now guess what? There's a whole new list of things that you have to do in order to become a director of the marketing. And you're gonna go through in the exact same way. Check, did that, check, did that, check, did that, check, did that. And now all of a sudden you are the director. You know what's about to happen. I know you know. There's going to be a whole list of things that the person needs to learn how to do, that they're uncomfortable with, that they're going to suck at, that they're going to fail at, that is going to be difficult. And then they go through those things. And then what do you know? They become the senior and they grow through working with you. Inside our organization, our leadership team has been promoted on average 2.5 times, meaning they moved from a senior marketing to a director to a senior director, on average 2.5 times. Because we laid out this path very early on in the alignment phase. Man, this is getting real ugly, but I don't even care. I'm like pumped about it. Early on in the alignment phase, we showed them what the possibility was. And so they aligned, then they developed themselves. The target here, just to give you some context, this shouldn't be 90 days plus forever. You should really be saying for each one of these roles, it's 90 days to like 1/1.5 years. My goal with my team is that they move through these phases here, the marketing manager, senior marketing manager, director, senior director. I want them to move through it as quickly as possible. If it takes 1.5 years, okay, that's fine. Maybe it takes 1.25 years. Maybe it takes 2 years to move from senior to director. Maybe this one takes 1.5 years. Maybe this one takes 2 years. But you're wanting them to move through this because they're so focused on what they need to develop so that they can go to the next role in your organization, because your organization grew due to the things that they added to themselves that became super valuable. I want to know if this was valuable. If you like the new iPad setup, I think I want to do a lot more of this. I will work on my handwriting in the interim. Let me know in the comments if you have experienced what I like to call development purgatory and what questions you have about this process, how you would create something like this, how you introduce this. Whatever your questions are, let me know in the comments. I'm looking forward to reading them, and don't forget to subscribe. Hit the button.